Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, it's another Call of Duty Advanced Warfare commentary, and this is your boy Tru Inferno. And how ironic that I'm from Detroit, and this is where today's gameplay is taking place at. But enough about the gameplay. Oh my gosh, it's just keep happening. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens. I apologize. Once again, I am sorry. I have to put these topics on hold yet again because of some stuff that keeps happening to me in the past few days prior to me making this recording. Now, what happened this time? Well, unlike the things that happened to me the previous few weeks, one of them was some news, the other one was some things that kind of like made me go WTF. This one actually pissed me off. So this is going to be a bit of a rant video. What happened to me this past weekend and the days that followed actually pissed me off. So, and I had to rant about it right here. So let's get straight into it. Now, the story takes place back in February the 21st? Yeah, February the 21st. It was at that point where I realized, okay, my mom's birthday was coming up, and I gotta make a reference to another video I did. I think it was like a dating reference video that I did, or dating advice video I gave, when I said, there's a certain criteria of girls that I want to date, and despite that criteria that I set for myself, I still managed to find this one chick that does not meet any of those requirements at all, and I was kind of feeling her. Well, her birthday was on the same day as my mom's, which was March 7th. So the mindset here was, okay, since I got two big birthdays on the same day, I need to give them both birthday gifts. I'm like, Now anybody that followed me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, especially Instagram, you should have known that I've been buying watches like crazy for myself. As of right now, I bought from eBay 9 watches, bound to have a total of 10. I crap you not. But the watches I've been buying, they've been really good price. They look sweet in a mug. The problem is, they come from China and Hong Kong and so forth, and whatnot. So they will take about like 3 weeks to a month just to get here. And I'm like, okay, I can't wait that long because these birthdays are like in 2 to 3 weeks, whatever, and that'll be pushing it. So I'm like, okay, let me look for watches that are nice, for one, for women, 2, that is nicely priced, 3, and most importantly within the US. And I actually found 2 by the same seller. So I'm like, okay. So now it's February 23rd. I made my purchase. I made my order. February 25th, the watches are shipped. Now, and another reason why I got it from this sender, or this seller rather, was because it was supposed to be in my house March the 4th. So I'm like, okay. Even if, how the post office like to do, when something's supposed to be delivered to my house on one day, the post office actually won't give it to me until the day after. But despite that, I would still have plenty of time in between to do whatever, wrap them up or whatever, figure out a way to present them to my mom and this chick and so forth and whatnot. So I placed the order. The days goes up, I'm just relaxing, chilling and so forth, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And I'm checking the mailbox, somewhat to see if they've arrived. Okay, so now we're in March. March the 2nd, nothing. Okay, cool. March the 3rd, nothing. Okay, cool. March the 4th, nothing. Okay, that same philosophy. They probably go deliver it to the next day. So now it's Thursday, March the 5th, nothing. So now I'm like, okay. But again, I don't sweat because I have one day. I'm like, okay, maybe, they're a little late, whatever. Maybe I get it the next day. March the 6th, Friday. Check my mail, it didn't come. So now I'm like, dude, the birthdays are freaking tomorrow. I need these watches. So now I'm looking them up through tracking and so forth and whatnot. And what happened? Oh, and then because UPS was sending them out or whatever, and UPS said on their website, oh, it reached my post office. I'm like, okay, so it should be in my house tomorrow. Well, Saturday comes, the birthday. The day of the birthdays, no watches. So now I'm livid. Now I'm calling everybody. I'm calling the UPS. I'm calling USPS. I'm going to my local post office. I'm emailing everybody. I'm trying to figure out where the heck are my watches. So, long story short, I ain't gonna tell y'all exactly what I did or what was told to me. Long story short, let me break it down what was told to me. On UPS's side, they said that they delivered the watches to my local post office. Okay. But USPS, on the other hand, aka, the United States Postal Service, aka my local post office, they said, they didn't deliver no watch. They didn't deliver your package to us. So now I'm going back and forth between the two. Like, they said y'all did. They said y'all did not. But they both stick with the story. And I'm up here going, where, how, what? Because here's what was supposed to happen. After I actually look at the tracking, the shipper is from Cali. So the watches went, the package, we could call it package. The package went, because both watches was in one package. The package went from Cali to Urban Crest, Ohio. And then and this is all UPS. And then they're supposed to go from Urban Crest, Ohio to my local post office, which is in a neighboring city, because I live on the borderline between Detroit and another city. I'm not going to say what. But it's supposed to go to the post office of my neighboring city. And then it's supposed to be delivered from my local post office to me. So now I'm sitting here like, how in the heck did y'all lose that from Ohio to Michigan? They're neighboring states. Like, how is that even possible? And you know what was the worst part about it is? The worst part about it was, on one side, on the UPS side, their mindset was, we delivered the watches. So we held up our end of the bargain, and that's it. There was nothing more we could do. We can't do it. We can't do an investigation because of the type of shipping service that the sender used, and we delivered it. So that's it. It's out of our hands. That's the feeling I was getting from it. Even though they were quick to respond through their emails, and when I called them, even though it took about like 10 minutes for guys to work around their electronic voicemail system crap, which is dumb as heck. That I had to work my way around that just to talk to them, but it only took 10 minutes. Okay, no big deal. USPS, on the other hand, they have the absolute worst customer service ever. On the phone, after I worked around their voice messaging system crap, it took 30 minutes just to hear from somebody. Not from the local post office, but I mean USPS headquarters. It took 30 minutes just to hear from them. And don't get me started with the, well, you know what I'm going to talk about anyway. Going inside the actual local post office, the one in my house, that's the worst. It's like the people in there, they don't care. I get a rude vibe from them, like, hey, I'm just here to do my job. I'm like, okay, your job is to deliver mail from point A to point B, and that's not happening here. But the difference between USPS and UPS is, with USPS, they let me put in a report saying, hey, my package late, it possibly lost, and blah, blah, blah. USPS, nope, they won't let you do none of that crap. Their mindset is, hey, we delivered it, it's out of our hands. You better talk to the sender. And it was like that Saturday and Sunday. So, I'm livid, because I'm like, how in the hell do we have two mailing services that said, we delivered it, and then, once I said we delivered it, but the other side said, no, we never got it from her. I'm like, how is that possible? Like, what the heck? So then Monday comes, which was like 2 days ago. I get a phone call from my local post office, and here's how incompetent my local post office is. Somebody there calls my cell phone while I'm at work. Didn't leave a voicemail, nothing. They just called, that's it. An hour later or whatever, I look at my phone, I'm like, wait, whose number is this? But because it said the neighboring city, I was like, okay, this is my local post office, whatever. So I called them back and say, hey, did somebody call me from this number? And they was like, we don't know. So and I'm like, who is this again? The local post office. So I'm like, okay. So I went in there Monday, like, hey, I got a phone call from this establishment. And then they asked me, did they leave a name or anything, tell you who called you? I'm like, no, nobody left a voicemail or anything. So they was like, oh, they must be one of the supervisors, but they out making rounds, but they got to come back. So you'll probably hear from them that same day. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. It's almost 8 o'clock. Same day. So I called back like, yeah, I came in earlier because somebody gave me a phone call from your establishment, and you told me it might be one of the supervisors. Oh, they're all gone for the day. Really? Like, what the hell? Like, seriously? So, you know, at this point, I'm livid. You know, I'm like, that weekend was horrible. Don't get me started with what happened on Sunday when we tried to go to Red Lobster, but we ended up going to Applebee's. That was terrible. But Tuesday came around. I called him back early this time, hoping to get in contact with the supervisor. Nope, no supervisor. But the packages did show up. And I received an email from UPS saying something about it went through Idaho. I'm like, how in the hell did it go from Ohio to freaking Idaho? Like, what? No. But, you know, the package did show up. And I gave one half of it to my mom already. The other half, I'm gonna give the other half to that person prior to this video being released. But as you can see, the game is over. I was playing Ground War on the Xbox One, and I had a pretty decent game, man. You know, no big deal. But yeah, this is Jim Ryan II saying peace out, y'all. See y'all next week.